Okay, so we practiced yesterday combining like terms and distributing. We did that because today they're going to show up in our equations. So we needed to practice doing that because we have to do that in our equations. So far, we've mainly dealt with pretty small equations. We just undo the adding or subtracting first, undo the multiply, divide last. But now they're going to be a little bit bigger. But we're still trying to get the x by itself. But there's a couple things we have to do first before we start undoing. So we have a new list of things we do. So everybody will get to that new list in your notes. Let's fill it in. If you ever have something sitting next to a parenthesis, that is your first job. So you need, on number 1, you put in there, you're going to distribute first. And I would just put a little example reminding you what distributing means. So if you have that in your problem, you've got to do that first. If you have a number sitting next to a parenthesis, that's your very first job, no matter what. Then you're going to look on the left side of the equal sign, and if you have any like terms, we need to combine them together. And then do the same on the right side. So step number 2, when you fill in, you're going to combine the like terms that are on the same side. Okay, so if you have, just like we saw yesterday, if you have a bunch of x's on the right side, get them together. If you have some on the left side, get them together. We want to shrink that equation down as small as we can get it, so then we can start undoing everything. So those are the 2 things we got to watch for today. Once we've done both of those, then we do just like we've been doing for the last 2 days. We start undoing. What do you always undo first? What do we undo? Look back at your notes, maybe. What do you undo first? Like if we were doing this problem right here, what would you undo first? Addition or subtraction. Yeah. So we undo the add or subtract first. We're going backwards. So we start at the bottom of our order of operations because we're undoing now. We're moving backwards. So we undo the add or subtract first, and then undo any multiply or divide last. So the only difference today is if we have to distribute, we got to do that. Or combine some like terms, we got to do that. And then we can start undoing the add or subtract first. Anybody need a few more seconds to jot that in? Okay, let's give it a try. Okay, this first one, right there. If you like doing that little divider line, please keep doing it. And will everyone just at least try it on the first one, because it really helps to see the right and the left side nicely so that we make sure we do it to both sides. Okay, our first step said distribute first. Do we need to distribute first on number 1? Do you have a number next to a parenthesis? Yes, so we need to do that first. So let's do that. Let's multiply that in. Everybody help me out. What's 4 times 5m? Good. How about 4 times 5? 20. Okay, good. That's done. Now we've got to look for like terms. Let's look on the left. Are these guys like terms? Do they have the same variable? No. And then I don't have anything over here, so I'm ready to move on. Now I start undoing. So Charlie, tell me what to do first to get that m by itself. Nice. Undo the adding or subtracting first. Get that out of the way. Guys, what did you get? 80 minus 20? 60. Perfect. Okay, then Joey, how do I finish it off?
Oh, you got to divide 60.
Nice. Divide last. Divide last. You guys, what is 60 divided by 20? 3. Good. And you could check it. You could plug in the 3. You could do 5 times 3 plus 5 times 4, and it would be 80. It would work. Okay, number 2. Let's get our little divider line in here to make sure we're doing everything to the left side and to the right side. Do you need to distribute on this one? No, why not? Nothing to distribute. There's no parenthesis there, so that's out of the way. Let's look on the left. Do you have any like terms? Yes, we do. So let's get them together. We don't need them separate. Let's get them together. What's 8x minus 6x? 2x. Okay, good. So you just combine them. You don't change any signs. If they're on the same side, you just put them together. Get them together. Okay, now that's all done. Now we can start undoing. So, Lily, tell me what you would do now to start solving. Okay, good, except, good, good. Add your 25, there it is, I know what you were saying. Negative 35 plus 25, what does that leave us with? Good, negative 10, because the negative is bigger. Okay, let's finish it. Everybody tell me how to finish. Divide by 2, good. Negative 10 divided by 2, what's our x? Negative 5. Any questions so far? So we gotta distribute first if it's there, combine the like terms next if it's there. Okay, number 3. Let's get our little line going so we can make sure to do both sides. Okay, Colin, what needs to happen first on number 3? Perfect. Gotta multiply that number in. Everybody tell me what's 2 times 1? How about 2 times negative 5x? Good. That was good, everybody. All right. Now we're looking for like terms. There's not any on the right side because there's just the numbers, so keep that. On the left, is there anything you can combine over here to make that smaller? Yeah, the 4 and the 2. Numbers are always like terms. Let's put them together. It's a positive 2, a positive 4. So what's 2 plus 4?
6.
Good. So we're just trying to get that as small as we can get it before we start solving. Okay, Macy, what do I do now that I've got x ready to go?
U minus 6.
Good. Minus the 6 first. Undo the adding or subtracting first. You guys, what's negative 8 minus 6? Negative 14. Negative 14. Okay, how do you finish it off? Divide. Is that going to divide evenly?
No.
And that's okay. Sometimes it won't. Not all the time do we get a whole number when we divide. But we want to make it the most simplified, accurate. First off, you guys, what's a negative divided by a negative? It's going to be positive. And does 14 over 10 simplify? What goes into both 14 and 10? 2 will. 2 into 14 goes how many? 7. 2 into 10 goes 5. So you want to simplify it. If you are not asked to write your answer as a decimal, leave it as a fraction. Okay, unless they specifically say put your answer as a decimal, fraction is the most exact answer because sometimes our decimals go forever and ever and ever. And the fraction will represent that value. So if you're not asked specifically to put a decimal, leave your answer as a fraction but simplify it. Any questions on that one? Okay, let's keep going. All right, this next one, we gotta follow the right order. Do you see any distributing on this one? Is this one next on your paper? Feels funny. Okay, it's next. All right, so no distributing, no parenthesis there. So we're looking for like terms now. Abby, do you see any like terms on either side? Okay, so definitely no over here. Is there anything we can maybe put together over here? Yeah, numbers can always go together. Those are always like terms. We can put those together. They're both positive. You guys, what's 5 plus 5? 10. Okay, that makes it a lot smaller. Now we can move on from there. Aiden, what would you do next? We want to solve for n. Good, subtract 10. Nicely done. Yeah, that sounded like Aiden. Sorry. Subtract 10. Subtract your 10 on both sides. Yes. Guys, what's negative 4 minus 10? Good. Negative 14. 2 negatives come together and get bigger. And then everybody tell me how to finish. Divide. So negative 14 divided by 2, what's our n?
Negative 7.
Negative 7. Negative 7. Okay, this next one, got a lot going on this one, so we got to take it slow. Okay, who I picked on today? Scarlett, what would you do first? Good, distribute. Let's multiply that in. You guys, what's 3 times 5x?
15.
Yeah, 15x, so then again we're going to get a 15 with 3 times 5. Okay, distributing is done. Jack, do you see any like terms on either side?
Yes.
Yes, what do you see we can get together?
10x plus
Good, let's get our x's together. What's 15x plus 3x? 18x. So if they're on the same side, you just look at their signs to know how to combine them. They were both positive. Okay, now we're ready to solve it. So Porter, what do I do next? Good, subtract 15. Just undo that, add by subtracting. Who's got that? 105 minus 15? 90. If I divide by 18, what are we getting? x is 5. So that one had everything we had to watch for. It had a distributing, it had a combining like terms, and then we had to undo the adding, undo the multiplying. Questions so far? Okay, I want you to try this one on your own. Following the right steps of solving, distribute first, combine your like terms, undo the adding or subtracting. Good. Perfect. Okay, solving an equation. Drake, what it has to happen first on this one? Parentheses. Let's get that 2 multiplied in. Everybody tell me what you get. Negative 10x, everybody, plus 4. Okay, that's all done. Distributing first. Like terms. Heaton, did you find some like terms?
Yes, 4 and 3.
4 and 3. Numbers can always be put together. It's a positive 4, a positive 3. That gives us how much? 7. Okay. Let's keep going. Quinn, now what? Minus 7, negative 10x equals 60. So if you divide by negative 10, hopefully everybody got negative 6. Everybody that I saw, yeah, got negative 6. Good, 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 good. Okay, so that's our equations. Now we're going to see how these help us in a couple different situations. So we know how to solve them showing our steps using numbers, but this year we're also required to tell in words what we just did. So I could say, I added 3 to both sides, but the word for that would say I would be using the addition property. So you'll have drop-down menus to pick the correct step, and they're going to show you the steps that were used. And you just have to say which of these properties did they use. So they'll give you an equation, and then they'll show you what they did next, and you have to choose. Now for us, we would probably times that in, but what did they do with their negative 7? What does it look like they did with that negative 7? They divided. Does everybody see that dividing by negative 7? Dividing by negative 7? Sometimes that's an option because that will actually divide nice and it works. We're trained to times it and keep doing that. But they divided. So over here, which of these would you choose to show they divided by negative 7? Say it out loud, I heard it. The division property. Does everybody agree with that? Yeah, if they divided, you got to choose the division property. So you arrow that to that one. You'll just pick it in the drop-down menu. They divided by negative 7. Now, the next part, look at what it's showing. So if I divide the negative 7, I'm left with u minus 3. And then if I divide these, did they get the right thing? 70 divided by negative 7. So if they're just doing the math, guess what that's called over here? Any guesses? If they just work it out, which of these would maybe simplifying? You're right. So if they're just showing what they get after they actually work it out, you're going to choose simplify. That one might be chosen a couple of times. Okay, so now we're here. Now they're showing us what they did. What have they done to both sides? Add 3. So which of these talk about adding 3 to both sides? What do you think? Addition. Yeah, they added 3, so it's the addition property. They're adding 3 to both sides. Now from here to here, they're actually doing the adding 3, so those are gone and you get u, and then they add 3, so when you work through the math, what did we call that one? Simplifying. Yeah. So on your assignment today, when you get to this problem, I'm not going to make you write these on your paper. Okay? You could just put add. So on like step 1, you could just put add. On step 2, you could put divide. I'm not going to make you write the whole thing out. Okay, so just tell me the steps you take. Just make them simple versions of that. Questions on those kind? You just have to look at what they did and choose the property. If they added, you put addition. If they subtracted, put subtraction. If they multiplied, you put the multiplication. If they just worked out the numbers, put the simplified. Are we okay with those? Okay, last off, we saw that we could make an equation when we were trying to find a missing angle. On our quadrilaterals, they're telling us the sum is 360. So we practiced this a little bit. To find this missing value, we can make an equation to help us find the missing value because we know they add to 360. So do this with me in your notes. Let's just write it out just to remember how to do this. You're going to take every angle, so do this with me please. You're going to take, it doesn't matter where you start. Let's take x and then we'll go 60, then 120, then 60 equals 360. And then we just combine those like terms. So we've got to get all these numbers added together. Somebody grab your calculator. 60 plus 120 plus 60. 240. Okay, so if you want to, when you write the equation, you could start on this step. Do you see all those numbers we got to add together anyway in the figure? Yeah, if you want to go straight here and say x plus and then add those together, you can. You can make it a little bit simpler. Now what do I do to solve for x? How can I get x by itself? Good, subtract 240. Good, who's got 360 minus 240? 120, so that's also a 120. Okay, so that's how we work through those. Now today, we're gonna see quadrilaterals, but there will be more than one x in there. So we can do the exact same thing. We're going to add all four angles, and they equal 360. So you could write this whole thing out if you want to. You definitely can. But as you look in that quadrilateral, do you see all the x's that you would need to combine together? Could I combine them now and just write that instead of writing all of this? You can. Let's look in here. Will you do this with me in your notes? Circle the x's so we know which ones we're combining. If you want to combine them first and write that, you can. If you want to write them all out, go right ahead. That's great. But let's combine them. So let's do 7 plus 14. How many x's do we need? 21, yeah? 21x. Okay, so we would get that. If we wrote it all out, we would combine the x's and we would get that. Now you got to gather the numbers, but you got to pay attention to the signs. Take your calculator. You've got a 14, minus 6. That's a minus 6. Plus a 75. Plus the 88. Who's got that? 14 minus 6. 171? Is that right? So we would do that here. We would do negative 6, 14, 75, and 88. We would combine those. So if you want to combine your like terms as you write it, go ahead. If you would prefer to start right there, that's great. If you want to write out all four, that's great as well. That makes it just a little bit easier for us to solve. So now we got to get x by itself. So Ava still, what do you do now? Good, minus the 171. Who's got that? 360 minus 171. 189. Divide your 21. 181 divided by 21. 9. 9? 9. And then if they asked you, like this one says find z, you could come over here and plug in that 9 where the x is and figure it out. You could do that if you had to. So we're going to just write the equation, solve it, adding all angles. So let's just set this one up. We won't take the time to solve it. You guys are getting super good at solving it. If you have some space, hopefully you have some space. Let's gather the like terms now. Will you circle in this second figure anywhere you see an x? So you know the ones that we need to combine together. Are they positive or negative? Positive, so let's add them up. Someone do 36 plus 48. 84, so let's put that there first. Plus, now we got to gather all the numbers. Maybe underline them. Pay attention to their signs. Do you see any negatives in there? No negatives, so we can just add them to 105 and 85. 192. And that's what it would look like, and it has to equal 360. It told us the quadrilaterals add to be 360. Then you could minus 192, divide by 84, and you would get x. Are we feeling okay with those kind? Okay. All right, I've got a quick check-in for you. Let me see how we did on time. Okay, we got some good time. Okay. Today is on Alex, so what I'd like to do is have you get your paper first so I can help you fill out your paper. Then we'll do the check-in so that once you're finished with it,